Power Rankings time for Week 18, courtesy of our friends at Toyota. Number 1, for the second straight week, probably the 7th different team this year, the Seattle Seahawks. Now, Chris, I had to ding the Jaguars.
Wow.
The Jaguars played with their meatloaf, double beat loaf in Indianapolis and almost lost. The Patriots looked spectacular against a team that is admittedly,
I mean, come on,
caca.
The worst team in football.
But the Patriots could have scored 100 if they wanted to. So I had to bump the Patriots up a little bit, and I had to move the Jaguars down just one. The Jaguars did not play against the Colts with their 44-year-old quarterback in a way that was befitting the number 2 status, in my opinion.
Okay, all right. Listen, yeah, I probably feel like I probably would have still kept the Jaguars in front of them, but I got no problem with that. I understand your logic there. You know, it was one of those games too where I feel like the scoreboard is a little misleading. Jaguars made some mistakes and screwed some things up, but felt like they controlled the game. But I hear you there. It's an unbelievable top 10. It really is. But, I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Seriously.
Wait a minute.
Are
you
you
mean the
kidding
thing
me?
that you didn't even know about until Pete told you during the break?
Well,
You're gonna
no,
give me a hard
I knew
time
about it
having
before
two
that. I
number
wanted to
18s.
tell Pete to shut the up and let us do the show and don't do it in the commercial
Happy
break.
New Year.
Okay? Yes, because I kind of noticed things. But a tie at 8th? Are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? Well, you couldn't make a decision there? I mean, Philadelphia went into Buffalo, and beat them in Buffalo. And you couldn't just make them 8 and Buffalo 9? What the hell's going on? You're getting soft in your old age, man.
Well, every time I thought about putting the Eagles ahead of the Bills, I thought the Bills should have won the game. And let me finish. It was the second time this year the Eagles' passing offense went into a coma for an entire half of a game.
A second time? It's the 12th time this year. What are you talking about?
No.
Yeah.
No. A complete and total coma. Let me tell you, first team since 1978, Patriots, or 87 Patriots, to have 2 entire second halves of games in a year where they were 0 net passing yards and 0 completions, excuse me. I completely screwed that up. It was historic against the Bucs and against the Eagles. 0 for 8 against the Bucs, 0 for 7 against the Eagles. It's never happened since 1987. The offense, and that's just the 2 most tangible examples. You're right. They have this bad habit.
It happened against the Cowboys. It happened against the Bears. It happened against the Chargers. It happened against the Packers. It happened against the Lions.
Thank you for making my case.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was my hesitation. My point is twice they have been a historic, but the rest of the time it just the switch flips and they don't know how to get it back on. So the Eagles won the game. If Josh Allen throws a pass that he's completed 1,000 times, the Bills win the game.
Yeah.
So that's why I said, let's just call it a tie. That game felt like a tie. And it felt like a tie to me. Let's put them in the same spot. I couldn't put the Eagles higher because I have too many concerns about this offense that disappears far too often.
No, I hear you that it is concerning. But it's amazing how they win these freaking games like this, too. It really is. And when their defense plays that way, you know, they're scary. And, you know, we've said that a number of times this year with this. Yeah, the offense, where the hell did it go in the second half? Where was it in the second and third quarter? I mean, we've done it 10 times like we've talked about. But at the same time, out of those 10 times, they probably have won 7 of them. And it's like as long as they don't turn the ball over, it's like they still find a way to win. That's what's crazy about the Eagles. It is. And they're going to be a pain in the butt in the playoffs with that defense. And then, hey, defense just hangs around. And then we just wait. Can Saquon make a play? Can A.J. make a play? Can Devontae Smith make a play? Can Hurts make a play? And all of a sudden you go, oh my gosh, we're going to lose to the Eagles even though they're not doing anything like real sexy on the offensive side of the ball. They're going to be tough. And I would think this weekend with some of the NFC playoffs and all of that, right, and that bottom part, gosh, I would want to avoid Philadelphia, though, at all costs. I really would. I mean, I would not want to be the 6th seed and have to go play them as the 3 seed in Philadelphia next week. It is worth playing to be the 5 seed and go to Carolina or Tampa Bay and do that in this case, right? I usually err to, like, I'd rather be healthy and be at our best for a wild card, but this is one where I'd be a little bit like, no, I think this makes a big difference. I don't know if we can go to Philadelphia, beat them there, and then win 2 more games on the road. I'd feel a lot better about, hey, I definitely think we can go to Carolina or Tampa Bay and win other games on the road.
If you're the Rams, you've lost in both places this year.
Right.
You've lost in Carolina, you've lost in Philadelphia, and you lost in the playoffs in Philadelphia last year. I almost feel like they'd like another crack at the Eagles.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I agree with you. It's always better to be higher than lower. You always want 5 versus 6, and that's what it comes down to for the Rams. They have a chance to be the 5. They have a chance to be the 6. It's going to be one or the other. And there's a huge difference from the standpoint of who the opponent is. But I feel like part of their attitude, too, is, hey, we think we're good enough to play anyone and beat anyone. We're going to have to play the Eagles at some point. Let's just go play them now.
No,
I feel like that at some level that's their mindset.
I think home field advantage means less to them than any other team in football. They don't give a damn. They're battle tested. There is no home field advantage in LA anyways, so who gives a crap? I mean, if they have to have they have home field advantage and the Eagles came there or the 49ers came there, there'd be way more fans for the opposing team than their own team. So, yeah, and I think with Matthew Stafford, they kind of said it after they lost to Seattle. All right, yeah, we might not be able to get the number 1 seed. It doesn't matter. Like he said something like, I'm paraphrasing, it doesn't matter. We'll go play anyone, anywhere, right? And I do believe that. They got to play some better football. They certainly did not look good on Monday night, and we think it looks like they're going to play this week to go into the playoffs on a high note, and that's unusual for McVay. McVay's usually sit out. We don't do training. We don't do preseason football. We don't play in games like this. But I think he realizes they're not playing their best right now, and you want to go in with some positive momentum. And, I expect them to play. And, of course, they're going to win and beat the Cardinals if they play. And then if the 49ers lose to the Seahawks, they become the 6th seed. And by all due accounts, they would be the ones that have to go to Philadelphia, which would be crazy.
That is one of the big stories for this weekend. Who is going to end up at the NFC South champion? Who's going to end up going to Philadelphia instead, if that's how it plays out. So, by the way, one last point. The highest non-playoff team with 4 straight wins and now 8-8, the Vikings. Ahead of the Ravens, the Steelers, the Panthers, and the Bucks. So the Vikings right now would be in a better spot than 2 teams that will make the playoffs. But, hey, it's on the Vikings. They're the ones that fell to 4-8. It's their own fault. They didn't have a shot at the postseason. They're performing well right now, though, and I think they really want to finish this with a 5-game winning streak and carry some of that into next year. The team's going to be a lot different next year. I just think they want to have that idea of winning in the building, part of the DNA, and carry some of that into 2026.
Well, I'm glad you brought them up because I think you're crazy for having them in front of the Ravens. That's what I would say for sure. You're crazy. And then Max Brosmer's the quarterback right now. I mean, come on.
Snoop Huntley's the quarterback now, and I'm sorry, Pro Bowler Snoop Huntley.
Well, he's definitely got a lot more pelts on his horse or the wall or wherever the hell you want to put the pelts than
he was
Max
unemployed
Brosmer.
2 months ago.
Well, okay,
he was unemployed 2 months ago.
As we've seen, teams are dumb. That's a great point. You're right. Look how dumb they are. That's what that just tells you. I mean, he's been a great backup his whole life, and so that's all you could say there. They misevaluate. They're stupid, but. Again, Minnesota winning the way they did. I was yelling on the couch on Christmas Day to my kids, literally, can you believe this? They were like, wait, the game is 10-6. It's not that fun. And I'm like, I know, but they're beating the Lions with Max Brosmer, and he can't throw the ball past 10 yards. Like, that's amazing. That's amazing. But, yeah, I think you're disrespecting the Ravens by having them behind them. Home cooking right there. Damn you. Home cooking.
Well, hey, I got the purple teams confused. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.